As the George Floyd murder case continues to unfold, there's some new developments every day. And I am using the word murder because even the mayor is calling for a murder charge. So I'm considering this a murder case. Whether or not it goes to court, gets prosecuted, anything, it probably will, but we'll see. I'm about to read you a story about Amy Klobuchar and how she ties into this whole thing. Because apparently this story just keeps getting wilder by the day, and somehow Amy Klobuchar is wrapped up in it too. So this is what theweek.com had to say about this. Let me read you what we know so far. So the title of the article, Amy Klobuchar declined to prosecute officer at center of George Floyd's death after previous conduct complaints. George Floyd's death in police custody is renewing criticism of Senator Amy Klobuchar prosecutorial record. Before she became senator and top contender for former Vice President Joe Biden's vice presidential spot, that's a mouthful, Klobuchar spent 8 years as the Hennepin County attorney in charge of prosecution of Minneapolis. And while in that position, Klobuchar declined to prosecute multiple police officers cited for excessive force, including the officer who kneeled on Floyd's neck as he protested, The Guardian reports. Ex-Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin saw at least 10 conduct complaints during his 19-year tenure before he was fired Tuesday, according to a database that documents complaints against police. Now Derek's the one that the mayor is actually calling for a murder charge against him, okay? In particular, he was involved in the shooting death of a man who had stabbed other people before attacking police, as well as some other undisclosed complaints. Klobuchar did not prosecute Chauvin for the first death, and he was later placed on leave when he and other officers shot and wounded a Native American man in 2011. As the Washington Post noted in March, Klobuchar declined to bring charges in more than 24 cases in which people were killed in encounters with police as Hennepin County attorney. Instead, she aggressively prosecuted smaller offenses that have been criticized for their disproportionate effect on poor and minority communities, the Post continues. And as Klobuchar undergoes vetting to become the possible vice presidential candidate, that track record is being scrutinized and criticized once again. Here's one thing we have to take into account. You notice the first thing that she didn't prosecute him for was for shooting and killing a man who was stabbing other people, okay? So we don't know if some of these other cases, because he had 10 complaints against him, we don't know if some of the other ones may have been more severe and less provoked, like this case. And because they weren't prosecuted, they didn't get taken to trial. And because they didn't get taken to trial, we don't know the facts. That's the whole thing, is when something goes to trial, that's when you get to know the truth. If you don't let it go to trial, you're just assuming innocence without a trial. And that's not where our police should be. And that's the problem. All this assumed innocence of the police is how we get to this position where they can kill people and not go to jail for it. Now, this guy, Derek, he's probably going to go to jail, maybe get a murder charge, who knows. But we know that in a lot of cases, justice isn't served, and we know that the police officers often get too much benefit of the doubt. So as this continues to unfold, it just keeps getting wilder. Did not expect Amy Klobuchar to be a part of this. Amy Klobuchar isn't the only person that was in the Democratic lineup that had some problems like this. This is the kind of thing where it could happen to some other people in the Democratic Party too. Who knows? Because like Kamala Harris, she's one of the other candidates who was also prosecuting and in ways that affected the minorities negatively. And you think there's probably some cops that she let go along the way? Probably. Who knows? But this is an issue, you know. Amy Klobuchar letting cops go and not even have to go to trial and defend themselves. That assumption of innocence is really the root of this problem. And the police union is way too powerful at defending these people, whether they're in the right or the wrong. And these prosecutors just kind of letting them go, it's just not right. And it's not doing anybody any good, because the more negative run-ins these police officers have, the more dangerous their jobs become. Look at the riots. These riots are a direct cause from all this injustice. So the only way for this to stop is for the cycle to break, and something's got to give, and we have to have people stand up and actually prosecute these officers when things go wrong, and not only when it results in a death. If it's just roughing somebody up too much, we need that. And unfortunately, right now we have a president who says, yeah, rough them up a little bit, bang their head on the door as you go in. Like he literally told police officers to say that, and they laughed. And that sort of mentality is the issue. I actually had a conversation with a police officer about this case, and he was giving this guy the benefit of the doubt. He watched the video of the officer having his knee on his neck for 7 minutes and still gave him the benefit of the doubt, because it's just this blue blood, and the blue blood, the defending of that, it's the prosecutors like Amy Klobuchar, it's the judges, it's the police union, it's just this whole gamut of institutions all designed to defend police officers, and it makes them almost invincible. One of the scariest parts of that video, besides the just mortifying image of Floyd dying, is the fear of everyone around, because they know they can't do a thing. They see this man dying, they're begging, and they're telling them, you're killing him, you're killing him. And even Floyd himself says, you're killing me. And the people around there, they know what's happening, and they know they can't touch the police, because they know that even attempting to step in and help would just ruin their lives forever. And they know they could never be held up as being right in the court of law. Like, yeah, you saved this guy from the police. Like, there's no way that would ever happen. It's a disgusting, terrible situation. And we have to remember, they're there to protect and serve us. Even in cases where they think that they're in danger, they put on that badge. That's their choice. They made a commitment to protect and serve, not to be protected and to be served, which is the system that we have now. And that's what needs to change. You guys tell me what you think, and I will see you guys in the next video.